And we are live. Oh yeah, Black Sun in the Hizzle, all for shizzle dizzle.
Right.
We got an excellent show here today. Y'all forgive that light in the back. I'm gonna fix that, y'all. I know that's annoying. Um, we got the lovely Phala. Phala came with this marvelous show topic, but I said, ooh, I'm gonna have to get ready for this because this is gonna be kind of heavy because it sounds like it's in almost like in the borderline relationship topic. It's not saying it is, but it could kind of
Well,
slip
we're
into
we're gonna we're gonna talk about self love. So we're gonna
okay,
just
okay.
self love and self care. And I
Well, the
mean that.
reason, okay, and the reason I mention that because somehow people, and you've got to admit this, even when you talk about some self love, somehow it always falls into the relationship. Am I not? Am I wrong? Am I
Well, and the
right? Am
thing
I
about it is, in order to be in a good relationship, you just have to start with yourself. So you have to come once again.
right?
We talk about my better half, and we've all come to the conclusion over the years that it's not about
Uh
being
huh.
a better half; it's about being a whole person coming whole. So you come to the table whole. You don't come as a half or come looking for someone to complete you, but you want to be a complete individual. So before we can talk about relationships and before we can have healthy relationships, we need to start with ourselves and self-love and how do we get to self-love and how do we actually deal in self-love and what does that
Okay.
mean? What does loving yourself actually mean?
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I mean it was, of course, love does spill over because if you're in a relationship and you don't have self-love and you're not taking proper care, or maybe there are portions. I have a few things lined up, and we can get to where when you're not taking proper care of yourself, it could be
Right.
to the detriment of your relationship. So we'll talk about a
I'm
little
glad you said that.
a little bit down the line about what self love and self care looks like as a single person and what it looks like as a couple, and how as an individual you have to practice self love and self care in order to be a healthy couple, and how we can help one another in all of our relationships, whether they be romantic or just friendships and business relationships, by showing
Okay.
self care and allowing others to put themselves first. So that, and when I say put yourself first, I don't mean in a narcissistic way. I do mean put yourself first, care for yourself first so that you can care for others. Because if you're not in the proper state, you can't help
Hmm.
others.
Right. Right. And uh, definitely because I know we know that you help others. We definitely know that. So um, we definitely appreciate your experience and your knowledge. So where do we get? I mean, where do we start, Phala? I mean,
So
what?
okay, so this is again Therapy Thursday, and
Hmm.
what we're trying to do is, or what we're going striving to do, and we'll do, is talk about self love, self care, and the tools that are necessary in this process of self love and
Right.
self care. Okay,
Okay.
and we're talking about our mental health when we're dealing with therapy, and we have to first come to the conclusion. I kind of put some things in categories, and I saw when I actually started trying to categorize the physical aspects of self-care with the mental aspects of self-care, and a lot of it did cross-reference. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. You're pixelated. That
Okay, I have
that's the
no
new
idea.
camera, right?
I look clear in this camera, so I don't
It
know.
was okay. Yeah, your camera was lagging, but um,
Yeah,
hopefully,
I don't know.
okay, okay, it cleared up. Okay, it's cleared now. Okay, it's a little
Okay,
bit better
so
now.
what I wanted to say, what I was saying is, okay, so the first thing I put with the self love and self care, the first thing that we talked about, or I tried to get us prepared or prepped with, is getting organized
Okay,
in this self care journey. And when I say getting organized, I mean organize and prioritize what's going on in your life.
okay,
And again, okay, so I kind of, we're getting organized, and let's back up a bit. We're talking about how the physical and the mental cross over. And so I
right.
like I took notes, so I'm looking over here at my notes. Just we're talking about physical health and mental health, and the first thing we're going to talk about is exercise. And I wanted
Okay.
us to, just kind of go over how exercising does cross over not only into your physical health, but your mental health, and
Right.
talk about how just the simple basic getting started on your physical health journey and self-care, and
Right.
how it helps with your mental health, and walking where we
Hmm.
talked about Monday meditation walks. It's something that I've been implementing for myself, with myself, and with my different groups and different activities. I try to implement that, where we have your Monday meditation walk, where you've taken Friday to examine your to-do list that you started off with, you made up on Sunday evening, Monday morning,
Hmm.
and then things that you finished, you've crossed off your list. The things that you have not finished, you move over to that next list. So once you have your list ready, like I said, between Friday and Sunday, possibly even Monday morning, then you take your meditation walk. And
Okay.
again, that is about exercising, right? That's your physical health, and it's also your mental health. It's your mental health.
Right.
And when you I encourage this, um, just like I said, to have a schedule of things and getting organized, so that you can kind of digest what you've suggested for this week.
Okay.
You should have already put together an overview of what you would like your month to look like. And again,
Right.
we organize, and we have our to-do lists that are, like I said, the overviews. We have calendars that are for the whole year, and then we have monthly.
Hmm.
So again, when we talk about getting organized, we're talking about getting all the way down to the nitty-gritty, where you have down to almost the hour. And we'll get to that when we start talking about exercising, counting calories, watching what you're
Right.
eating, stuff like that. It goes from what you're going to do over the year, what you're going to do over the next 6 months, breaking it all the way down to daily. What are your daily habits? Getting
Right.
organized, and that's going to
Right.
be really important.
And glad you brought up the calorie count because over the phone we had this talk about protein, this myth. So, um, I think a lot of people when they do these diets, they get frustrated because they don't understand the science of proteins, carbohydrates and fats, and how the body will take in a certain amount and then just won't use the rest of it. So all these protein shakes and all these
Yeah,
protein
all the
powders and all
fads,
that.
all of the fads
Yeah.
and the trends. When you
Hmm.
talk about self love and self care, we're talking about lifestyle changes. Okay, we're
Right.
not
Right.
talking about diets. We're not talking about fads. And then we can kind of segue over into okay, when we're dealing with being healthy, everyone is not dealing with weight loss. Some people need to actually gain weight, or would like to actually gain weight, or
Right.
maintain their,
Well, I always say there's
or
a
but
ideal. Well, I always say that there's a that there's the desired weight and there's your ideal. Like, okay, when I say ideal weight, I don't want to make it sound like so. There's a weight that you're supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like everybody's not gonna look like Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not. Um, because you got. I mean, Fela, you already know we got a whole pandemic epidemic of women getting butt injections, um, um,
All of that.
all that,
And
all that,
again,
all
this is
that,
when we start
all
talking
that.
about mental health, and and
Mm-hmm.
and and not being willing to be patient enough and diligent enough to actually work for these bodies that we want. I mean, some
There
stuff
you
is
go.
impossible. So let's be real. If you're 5'2" like me, you're not going. There's no exercise to do to make yourself 5'9". But
Right,
what we need to understand when on a self love and self care journey, this is for men and for women, is you learn to embrace what you have, use what
right,
you
right,
have, um and what at wherever, because again, we have short men who could be concerned about being short more than they're concerned about being healthy, and that's ridiculous. Okay, so
right,
we have to
right,
get over all of these standards of beauty, and really, like you said, deal with what's healthy, what is you can find a balance between what's healthy and what your desire is, and just make sure that you don't have any of these I hate to say certain names, but when you have celebrities, we need to talk about it, like
Yeah.
Tammy Roman. That woman has I mean, I would call that anorexia. I'm not
Right.
I'm not a doctor, so I can't really. But that's when you become so obsessed with yo-yo dieting and
Hmm.
society's ideals of perfection. And she's not even dealing with like where we started off with the implants and the trying to enhance and have augmentation. She's just straight up trying to be
Right. So
they
there's
say
like
model skinny. Okay, we can't even
right,
call it white girl skinny anymore because it's not white girl skinny. It's model-esque skinny. And when we talk
right.
about model-esque, we're talking about those things. A model
You
is
talking about
like a
you talking about the
mannequin.
cocaine
We're talking about
cracker diet.
no, yeah, no, we're talking what we're talking about just at honestly, we're not talking about Beyonce. We're talking about
Mhm.
that mannequin when you walk into high-end in stores, Bloomingdale's, when you walk into these stores
Right.
where the Macy's, they don't even have heads on them because they're just models and they're stick figure almost. They actually have some of the models that are pretty much stick figures and
That
they
size.
throw the
Right.
clothes. Oh, so again, that's telling you something when you have a size 1 or 2 on some kind of, not even necessarily a body, but just kind of a something that you put together where you can see the clothes, and it's almost like I said, a hanger, something like a human
Hmm.
hanger type vibe. Okay, so
Right.
these are unrealistic ideals, and again, we're not talking about celebrities here, thank God, but these celebrities have between all the enhancements and augmentations that are very, very dangerous,
Right.
okay, to starving yourself to try to look like something out of a magazine that is just very much not realistic. We need to talk about the fact that even the models are getting airbrushed once the photography, the photos get to the laboratory to get to the magazines. By the time
Hmm.
they do all the airbrushing and whatnot, that size 2 model is now a 0, stretched out. She's might be 5'9", but by the time they stretch her out in the magazine, she looks like she's 6'2". So again, we need to be realistic about what
So
is real, what is natural, and we need to start loving ourselves and loving on ourselves. Like I said, men and women, men
right.
especially, we need to not leave men out because again, we think that women are the only ones dealing with all of this, but we're all dealing with it, men and women. When women need to hold men accountable when they pressure you into all of these impossible standards of beauty. Because again, we're all getting older every single day, and and we need to stress that to our children, okay? Because our
Right.
children somehow in their minds don't believe 10 years from now it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We've seen it. We've seen decades pass. So we're going to have to start loving ourselves from the inside out because beauty fades, being handsome fades, muscles go away. I mean, all kinds of things happen, and you don't have the ability to maybe work out as much as you could, in one from one season to the next. So you're going to have to learn how to love yourself, care for yourself, and have a system of people and things that support you in your
Okay.
journey, and keep you at a place where hold you accountable, but at the same time keep it realistic, and keep you
Right.
grounded. And even if we notice some of our friends and our family members and colleagues who are getting a little obsessed with certain things, what I wanted to say before I forget, I want to talk about those who are when we're dealing with morbid obesity. Because I
Okay.
know that we were talking, we also had a little side discussion about those who do have to get surgery. I'm
Right.
not
Right.
necessarily, I don't have an opinion. It's just like abortion. I have an opinion, but I don't really have an opinion with the surgeries. The number one thing I would say is be very, very careful and make sure that you do all of your research. And then you have to, again, the doctors will tell you and everyone will tell you, but you have to keep in mind that there are no quick fixes even with surgery. So you can go get surgery and you can
Right.
lose the weight and I've seen it over the years with cousins, cousins my age, a little bit older, a little younger, few people in my family, and you can gain all of that weight back. And again, you can get other
Right.
health issues if you are not proactive with a lifestyle change. So you can't go get surgery and then continue with your same diet, same habits, or think you're going to cut back a little bit. No, you need to decide to make drastic lifestyle changes. And depending on which kind of surgeries that you have, you have to train your body to eat the optimum amount of food and the best quality, because you cannot consume as much as you would normally or the average person would consume. So when you're eating, it needs to be top quality food that also digests. And you have to exercise, you have to get on a regimen, like again, to save your life, because there are no quick fixes. So we can do all kinds of surgeries, we can do whatever we want, but if we are not backing these things up with the proper exercise, and that's even if you don't have surgery, you can lose weight, you can go on crash diets, you can not believe that it has to be a lifestyle change, and you will
Right.
see over the months and years, you will pack the weight back on plus some. Okay, so you have to come up
Right.
with a new lifestyle, a new way of life, a new way of living. You really have to talk about a self-care plan that is a lifestyle change that you can continue for the long haul.
Right. And we got to understand too, like with the surgery, I mean, there's no way around it. People have to accept that the only way you gain weight and go beyond your weight is with animal protein. Period.
Right.
Animal protein. So we gotta figure out, or people that go through that, you gotta accept that. A lot of people won't accept it. They like, oh, when they hear when you say good quality food, they're thinking, oh, good quality meat. No, there's no good quality meat.
No.
That animal
No, and that when
protein.
I
Yeah.
said food that you can digest, I mean your
Hmm.
fruits, your vegetables, and I mean as much as you can organic. If you
Right.
cannot necessarily get all your greens organic, greens are the best thing that you can get. That you can kind of
Hmm.
play with it with the cabbage, the kales, the turnips, all of your greens, your green leafy vegetables, organic, non-organic, clean them, rinse them in sea salt and vinegar, and get to this
Hmm.
good food that you can digest. Okay, again, I
Right.
admit Black Son and I don't necessarily agree as far as seafood. I think that if you long as you stay away from scavengers and try to keep it to a minimal, if you must have the protein. I mean, again, I've been vegan, I've been vegetarian, I've been
Hmm.
and I am pescatarian. And again, I was just
Well, the
talking to
reason
my
I
brother about
said
keeping it
I
minimal.
don't. Right. Well, that's the thing. People. Well, that's why when you say you don't agree with the science says it. The science, like I said, the leucine levels on, I don't care if you just eat a little nibble, 240 leucines are going into your body, period. When you eat fruits and vegetables, they think the more you eat, the more leucines you get. No, that's what meat comes with. It comes with 240 leucines. Your body really is only not supposed to go over the level 700 leucines, and so that's why we're getting the obesity, even with the seafood, the chicken, the pork. I don't care if it comes from an animal. The leucine levels are skyrocketed off the gate. The
So,
dairy
is there any
skyrocketed off the
difference
gate.
between fish and other meat, or
No,
I
no,
don't,
no.
I wouldn't know.
Mm-mm. No.
Okay, well, and what I would say to that again, like you said, is you need to minimize. As I do, I minimize, and it's been much healthier for me. And of course,
Right.
the process, like veggie meat, veggie this, veggie that.
Mhm.
Um, but maximize at the end of the day, maximize. I mean, I don't recommend anything other than seafood, period, but maximize. If
Right.
you can't cut off meat, that's great. At least do fast. You go at least, like I said, a couple of weeks off and on, so that you can kind of make sure that it digests and cleanse. But make sure again, if you're drinking enough water
Mhm.
and fluids and herbal teas and getting in your proper nutrients, a minimal of seafood. I cannot tell anyone that it's okay to eat like a beefsteak. I just can't. Why? Because I can't justify how you're going to digest that, or why you would want to try to digest that. It takes what, about 2 weeks to digest a beefsteak, the
Well,
finest cut. Takes about 2 weeks for your body to digest it. So just imagine everything that you're compounding on it. And there's no way to eat enough vegetables and fruit to digest it. It's just your body has to let it like go through, just like a
right.
drug. It has to
Right,
go through your
right. 'Cause
system.
the
So
intestines are so long, so that it has to go through that long process. And if you know,
right.
we
And
can
in the meantime,
because
whatever whatever
we have
toxins are coming
herbivore. Right, right. Well, I was just going to say
in
that
and
we
whatever
have.
else. So there's again, and this is even with fish. This is my my thing with fish is similar because they have all the mercury, and especially here in California, the
Mhm.
ocean is just very. That's one of my main reasons why I try to minimize even the seafood, because and then when I say that, yeah, I'm not nowhere near perfect. So when I want some fish, I try to go get some good Jamaican escabeche or brown stew or some jerk, whatever. But I like to go get fresh, good seafood, and I like to make sure that when I'm eating it with some greens, some cabbage, something that's going to really, like I said, digest it. And then you don't want to eat fish 3 days a week. That's just it's too much. And how are we going to digest it again? When we start thinking about what our bodies have to do to digest these things, and then also when we're trying to get healthy and firm up and get muscle and lose fat, you need to be cognitive of, once again, of what you're putting in your body, what you're digesting. And once you train yourself, you begin to enjoy healthy food. Begin to crave. You will begin to crave, like, I want some melon. I want
Mhm.
a glass of orange juice. You start craving like healthy
More
things, like,
healthier
okay, I
things,
need to
right?
run to the store because I've actually had it where I want mangoes and some berries. I mean, again, that's once you trained yourself, and you go in the store and you walk right past the stuff that you used to actually go buy, the junk food, the Doritos, the Cheetos. But
Right.
you have to decide that this is the stuff that you don't no longer want to spend your money on. You no longer want to poison your temple with. Okay. And
Mhm.
we can talk about it, but then actions are going to be what's most important. And again, you're talking about being a vegetarian and a vegan. We need to deal with the reality that some people can't even walk into the gas station without walking out without a Coke and a Snicker bar and some Doritos. Okay, and those
And
are some
that lies the problem.
vegetarians. Yeah, some
That
vegetarians.
lies the problem.
So
That lies the problem. I mean, and that lies the issue, and that's why we have the healthcare crisis dealing with diet, because of the many things. They say the studies I've done. The only thing they could say positive about meat, and this is all meat, is that people like meat. That's the only thing that
taste
they
good.
said positive. That's every research I've done. They said, well, and it's funny because all the meat, they're suffering because a lot of people are going vegan. They're trying to put out these false articles, but all y'all got to do is go down and see who the article's funded by. It's
Right.
just that simple. Doctors who, they're not. We talked about that oath.
What?
The oath that they
Right.
sworn.
Whole
So.
industry that you are messing with. Okay, but the
Mhm.
thing about it is, and what we know, when you put one industry out of business, you're in fact putting another industry in business. So if you
Right.
get the proper, again, if we learn how to, and even with society, if you have to do away with gas, and you're saying, oh well, that's a whole industry, oil is a whole industry. Okay, but if
Right.
everything goes electrical, you find a different way to run the cars, the engines, then yeah, a whole industry goes away, but then that new industry is discovered and maintained, and it's healthier for the environment, and it's healthy. So that's what we need to do. We need to start saying, okay, yeah, we have a whole pig pork industry, which again,
Right.
why are we booming?
Failure connection.
Nope.
Okay, now it's getting bad. Look at your
I
settings. Look
can.
at
I
the
don't. I don't know. I can see me. That's why I don't know.
right, but on my
Can you hear
side,
me?
it's yeah, I can hear you. It's a little choppy.
I don't
It
know.
might be your connection. But okay, we'll roll with it. Okay, now it's looking better. Okay, yeah, yeah. We'll just it might be just the connection.
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
not seeing any
Well, okay,
breakup.
keep
That's
going.
why.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Okay. Well, it's we're not gonna worry about it.
Okay, so another thing that I had, like I said, I had the physical and the mental health and the self care and love. And the next thing that I had,
Hmm.
just kind of to keep it moving, is so we talked about exercise being on both ends, mental and physical health. I have
Hmm.
we talked about healthy diet, just so we don't have to go with that part. Healthy diet, that's for your mental and your physical health again.
Right.
And then I have getting proper rest. That's
Okay.
really important. Let's talk about physical health and getting proper rest. It's going to be important if you are striving to maintain uh, your proper weight and size. Also,
Hmm.
to keep from having strokes and heart attacks, you have to get proper rest. Um,
Right.
you want to make sure that you're getting, what is it, the proper REM, and getting the deep sleep, and you're getting that for a minimum of 5 to 6 hours, and then you should be getting 6 to 8 hours of rest a night. And like I said, the 5 to 6 of them should be a deep meditative, not meditative, but deep sleep, or a real no, nobody can snap their fingers and wake you out of. Um,
Right.
for your health sake. And again, this is for physical health, as far as making sure that you're not putting yourself in line for a heart attack or a stroke. High
Hmm.
blood pressure is linked to not getting proper rest. And also
And
as for
diet
your
too.
mental health, or
Hmm.
I don't know if you said metabolism, but you need to have good
No, I said no. It's linked to your diet definitely too. Also.
yeah, your diet and your
Mhm.
metabolism. You could be exercising and you could be eating correctly and all that. If you're not getting the proper rest, and I've had that happen to me before, I'm just not getting the proper
Right.
rest. So your body is
Hmm.
not, storing food, fasting, and not getting proper
Hmm.
rest, and you're not, and so your body is feels like it's starving. So it's storing fat because that's what it thinks that it has to do. So
Hmm.
yeah, we have to make sure that we're maintaining our getting our rest, and maintaining like I said, a proper diet and exercise. um
Hmm.
and so that's physical and mental. Let's talk about mental health and rest again.
Hmm.
That is very important. And I'm just gonna say it on a really just basic level. When I write, that's what I do. And even working, when I'm working, it's say I'm even like say I'm doing hair or something.
Hmm.
I like to do everything that I do on a fresh night's, fresh rest. So if I don't get a proper night's rest and I get up and I want to work, whatever it is, whether it's
Hmm.
physical, doing hair or whatever, or it's I have a term paper that I need to write. I'm working. I have to have a deadline. I have to edit a paper for someone. I can't do any of these things if I've not had a proper night's rest.
Right.
When we were younger, we used to, go to the club and be out all night, party, drink, whatever, and jump up and go to work and, actually be able to put
Right.
in 4 to 8 hours sometimes,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah. That's pushing it.
if you recall, we weren't the best workers at that, the night after we would party, but we just maintained through that 8 hours. Again,
Right.
it's the difference between maintaining through your day and actually putting out excellence, in your day, whatever it is, whether it's at your job, whether it's you're sitting down to write a poem, you're sitting down to to write a letter for your office or whatever it is, you need to be able to get the proper rest on a daily basis, or nightly basis, I should say, so that
Hmm.
your work and whatever that you're doing is the best that it can be, and you're being the best person you can be. Now again, I'm talking about more just making sure that you're doing good work and being just being optimal with your work, but
Right.
also mental health. When you don't get proper rest, studies show you're angry, you have anxiety. It makes your stress level elevated even more. You become anxious. Um, it's very unhealthy. Okay, so this is what we have to do. We have to make sure that we're doing all these things we need to do.
Hmm.
I don't know if you want to add on, but like I got a little distracted going on. I'm getting some things that are going on in here. I'm hearing some noises. It's like
Oh, okay. I didn't hear anything. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I was just hearing noises over here. But yeah,
on the audio.
in my house. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought it was a computer. Yeah, yeah, I agree with the rest. The rest part. We shouldn't be, like you said, partying all night and then just jump and go to work.
We can't.
It's like
It's too
right,
old.
right. We're not. Yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
again,
even
you want
young
to
people, I don't
be
think do
at your
that.
very best, and you don't want to be having mental health issues and mood swings, specifically because you're not getting proper rest.
Right, right. That's true. Mm, okay, so this is all interesting. Definitely good advice. Get definitely some good advice. And yeah, like you said, proper rest, diet, exercise plays a big part in the mental because a lot of people, I guess, like you said, and I'm glad that you shared with us that you make time to exercise, and Fayla's going to be showing us some routines down the line, so we're going to be dealing with that on Fitness Fridays. Some of
Yeah.
the workout regimen she has, um, and let me say this to the sisters: when you lift weights, it don't have to be heavy. It could be light. You know what I mean? That goes for the brothers too. You don't have to start off heavy. You can start off light and then just gradually, if you like to enhance and add on to the weight. Um, that's really the proper weight training, so you don't injure yourself, so you don't pull a muscle or anything. So yeah, it's good to just, and you can get high reps when you're lifting light. So yeah, I definitely encourage a workout regimen, and so yeah, we look forward to seeing you, Fela, and some of your favorite exercises, and
Yeah.
because as long as I've known you, your weight hasn't fluctuated. I mean, I know
Yeah, I just
I've
had
never
the
seen you. I've
I
seen
had
a
the
lot of people.
drastic weight gain when I had the car. We talked about the car accident. I
Right, we're talking
gained
about the
about
car
30
accident. Right, right.
pounds. But other than that, in general, it fluctuates maybe like
Well,
10,
30
15
pounds
pounds.
is
But
really not. That's not. I mean,
I've never,
I'm.
no, I got to the point where they called it obese. That's why I was saying, being obese and
Oh,
morbidly obese, those are the categories where, people start talking about surgery. And,
right,
if you
right,
are morbidly obese, more than likely you will get the surgery. But if you are just obese, you should be willing to put in the work. I mean, I would never do it. At 190 pounds, I was obese. And of course, I
right,
would never try to get any surgery. I had to go lose that weight, and I had
right,
never
right,
been that big other than pregnant. So
right,
it
right,
was, and it was a lot, and it was taking a toll on my whole body. You know what I mean? Physically,
right,
and it was very stressful because again, you once you get a certain weight and you've never been that weight before, you start
hmm,
trying to figure out like how am I going to get it off, and you start because again there are no quick fixes, so you have to dedicate time. But when the doctor basically told me, you're going to die, okay, so you can
right,
talk and you can refuse medication, all that, but either you take the medication and lose the weight or you just lose the weight. Either way you're going to have to lose the weight, or you're going to have a heart attack or a stroke because you're just too big for your height and you've never been this big before. And again, when we get this news, you have to get proactive with it. And again, there,
Hmm.
I could have easily been like, oh well, let me go get some diet pills and started doing fad diets. No, what I did was I started. Well, I did go and I did the apple cider vinegar because I was doing stuff for my blood pressure.
Okay.
But I started
Now tell people, because when they do that, I think people do that wrong. So tell them the correct way to do apple cider vinegar so they don't burn their
I did
esophagus. And
shots. I did shots. So what I did was
was it
basically
diluted?
shots. Brags.
Or like those little,
Um,
yeah, okay, like those little things they have.
yeah, I bought a bottle of Brags, and then I would take just like the cap and maybe a little the cap a couple of times and just
Okay,
in the morning drink because I couldn't do it with water. It was easier for me to do shots. And then
really?
I
Okay,
of course I chased it with lemon. That's what I did. I did the shot and I put
okay,
honey and I would have lemon and then I drink water. And so I would chase it with water. And
man,
I did
yeah,
that and
give
I
me,
was moringa. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
So
When
I
I
did
was
moringa
asking, okay, you didn't get any
and those are
burning sensation.
yeah, that's why I was telling you. That's why when you do the shot, and that's the cap is so
Yeah.
small. That's why I said a couple of them
Okay.
shot, and then as soon as you do the shot, I had honey ready. Honey, that's the sweet, and then a
Right.
lemon, and then down with the water,
Mhm.
water to just get all taste out.
Okay.
No, I didn't do any burn. I used to it really, really
No
quick. It is
burn.
again,
Okay.
that little shot really quick. It's not that much. It's the same as if not tequila, but I mean it's not the same burn, but similar, if that much. You know what I mean? Nothing big.
I got you. Mm.
And I noticed the weight loss that I was doing it for blood pressure, but the weight. I mean, I started losing weight pretty
Now,
rapidly.
what,
The
what
first
what were you eating? But what were you eating, Phala? What were you eating?
I went on like a vegan fast, and I went on a vegan
A
fast. That's what I
vegan
said. I'm do
fast.
lifestyle change things where so because I do that often. Like I'll say, okay,
Uh-huh.
this whole month, 21 days. Like when I do 21-day fast forward, that's usually what it is. It's I'm not
Mhm.
doing any seafood whatsoever. So it's 21 days of no sugar. If I
Mhm.
can help it, but
Good.
sugar is like,
Okay.
but definitely no seafood whatsoever. Really cognitive of how much water and fluids I'm taking in, and that's what I did. I
Right.
made sure that I was overloading. Like I love grapes, I love melon. Okay, and
Okay.
then my body for some reason for a good
Alkaline.
year, my body craving oranges and apples. Oranges
Okay.
and apples. So I did a lot of oranges, apples, pineapples. I know people say
Mhm.
bananas aren't good, but I did bananas, plantain, um,
Right.
just a lot of just beans and rice. And when we say beans and rice, I do more rice and peas, so it's less. And I like lentils, but I usually do red beans. And
Okay.
that's
Yeah, I
basically
like
in
red beans.
tofu. I do tofu. I try to do organic. I like extra firm tofu, so I like. Then I was on a lot of the meat substitutes, so I had to kind of cut back on that because
Right. Sodium.
I don't
Yeah.
know, it wasn't feeling right. I don't know, and I don't know if
Mhm.
anybody understands what I say when I eat the veggie meat. I can eat it, but I have to make sure like I have cooked vegetable, like that's fresh, like not
Right.
canned or frozen, and like an actual salad. So I need a full good salad
So,
because
right.
it doesn't feel good if I just eat. Like I was telling somebody, like I had a burger. I was really like a veggie burger, just the bread, the meat, little piece of lettuce, and it's like that's not. Where's the food? Where's the nutrition? It's just a bunch of bread and veggie meat, whatever that is.
Right.
and
Right.
so that was what I did try to concentrate on, making sure that I was cooking, full course, real meals, stuff that you actually have to
Mhm.
peel, red potatoes. And again, switching out of things, switching out the yellow and the white potatoes or Idaho potatoes to red potatoes and yams and sweet potatoes. I did a lot of, instead of frying potatoes, I dice some and put the olive oil and salt and peppers, season them really nice and put them in the oven. Just tastes so good, and you're
Hmm.
losing all of the fat with the grease. Um, like I said, I really started enjoying the art of cooking, and that's another thing. Once again, men and women, when you're on this self love and health and self care journey, fall in love with the stuff that you putting in your body. Get experimental. If you like, go into the the grocery store and go into the vegetable section and start pulling out some of those herbs and vegetables that you've never tried or rarely try, or maybe your girlfriend made it and but you've never even. Get some asparagus. We're black folk don't rarely make asparagus. Grab some stuff out of the produce section that is not unique, but just unusual for you. Mix your greens and cabbages and see, get your seasonings out and play with that. Play with that art of cooking. Curry some of
Hmm.
your vegetables. That's what I started doing, getting real fancy with it. The stuff that I would do with meat, do it with your vegetables, so you curry your vegetables. You can even jerk your vegetables. Play with the I learned how to make black bean patties, or not learned how, but I kind of came up with my own little way. So it get experimental in the kitchen, and make some things
Right.
happen, and see what your taste buds start to enjoy and really enjoy
Well,
once you
we might have to
real
do
real
a
food.
segment where you're actually showing them how to do all this, because you're saying a lot, Fela. But a lot of people, some people are like they learn by sight. So when you're showing
Right.
them how to cook, because you're saying a lot of information to take it in, but
That's
then
why
you
we
gotta
said
still
we're
remember.
talking about fitness. We're talking about Fitness Fridays, but we're actually going to have a physical fitness Friday where you're actually, I'm gonna have some pre-recorded and I'm gonna go live, and we're going to be getting down to the nitty gritty. And I do have someone who's going to
Mhm.
come in a couple of weeks and
Okay,
do
good.
a raw segment and
Hmm.
a segment. And again, this is one of
Okay.
my people who's ITAL vegetarian vegan. He cooks a little bit of seafood, but he's for the
Okay.
most part ITAL vegan. And just cook to taste and really understanding what soul food is. We're going to get into that when you talk about cooking with love and cooking with care. That's what we're going to
Hmm.
talk about, like what our grandmothers did, but with knowledge. I mean, just think about and imagine what we can do in our kitchens when we add the knowledge and the wisdom to the
Hmm.
arts of cooking, and really being healthy and being wise in our kitchens.
Right. Um. Also, I
Yeah, and
want
he
to.
said the brother is saying drinking room temperature water. That is a number one thing for me. That's how I'm able to get down 8 bottles, 9 bottles of water, because I don't I
Right.
rarely drink cold waters. If I drink cold water, it's because I put
Right.
it in the freezer because for some reason I just wanted some cold water. But in general, I have 2 cases of water always sitting up in the house, room temperature, and you just grab it. And again, um if you're not a water drinker, uh definitely start with the room
Make
temperature
yourself,
and just
man. Make
make it a
yourself a water
habit.
drinker.
Make it a
Yeah.
habit. you
Yeah.
can
If
you
you're
can
not
look
a.
at people's folks skin and tell who drinks water and who doesn't. So
That's
it
right.
shows all in
That's
your
right.
skin, all in your pores, and especially in the
That's right.
summertime, we have to stay hydrated. We have to stay hydrated. Because you're, once again, you're wondering why you're having mood swings. And even our seniors, that's the thing. We're almost seniors now, but our poor seniors, I mean, I've dealt with seniors for years and years as a caregiver, and they
Right.
get dehydrated, and you couldn't imagine the mind trick. They think they're gonna have dementia. Some people, and it's
Right.
not dementia, it's dehydrated.
Right,
So
right. And you
yeah,
got a
just
lot of
make sure.
people who think they're suffering from like bipolar disorder, and there's a lot of like, but a lot of these people don't even have like water in a regimen, and it's crazy. So the
Exactly.
water,
People
it
who are they're going insane end up in the hospital hooked to IVs getting hydrated. And the bottom line
mhm.
is, oh, they're they're getting they're dehydrated. So we have to hydrate them, and
Hmm.
now they can come back down to, yeah. So like I said, that, and that's very common in seniors and work. Like I said, working with seniors as a caregiver, you
It's
see it all the time.
common.
But it's not just
Right.
seniors. People,
It's
it's
not
in
just seniors.
general. Even with,
Yeah.
exactly, with children. With children, you have
Hmm.
children running around here
Children. Yep.
dehydrated, and you have no idea why they're screaming and hollering and acting wild and
Right.
crazy. They need, they're drinking everything but water,
Right.
or nothing at
Right.
all.
That's right. Right. And yeah, it's crazy because like you said, it affects all people of all ages. That dehydration, and it's for people bodies not to you think your body's telling you, look, I need some water, I need some water, but people,
Right.
they go, it's crazy. We're living in an age now
Once
where
your
people are
body
not even.
starts feeling thirsty, you're already dehydrated. I think we all kind of know that, or we should be reminded of that. So that's why I
Hmm.
said, if you're not a drinking water, just start forcing yourself to drink water and get into the habit of it. Because again, once you start saying, my throat dry, you're dehydrated already.
Right.
It's
Yep.
it's too
That's right.
late. And
Oh,
again,
good point. Good point. Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
wait
When you
until you start feeling it. Once you start feeling it, your body, that's your body saying, hey, I done gave you a couple of signs already. Now now the
Mhm.
car is broke down on the side of the road out of gas. So
Mhm. That's right. Yeah,
again,
get that
that
water
comes with,
in.
once again, being active. Let me look at these let me look at these notes.
Break them out. Break them out.
Okay, so I was saying that we were going to talk about what self-love and self-care looks like for a single person versus what it looks like for couples. I don't know. I can't
Hmm.
speak for couples. I don't know if you could. I don't know if you are in a relationship or whatever. But I can't speak for couples. So we're gonna start with the singles, and then I can kind of because with the couples again, it will be more about making sure that you are caring for yourself and putting yourself first, so that you can be there for your partner. But so what? Okay, I'm gonna let you do a little bit of start off with the talking, since we're talking about self love and self care. What does that look like for a single person, a single man? Oh, I don't. Are you a single man?
Well,
We got
you got to start this off, Fela. This is your topic. You got to start this off, Fela, because this is your topic. So I can
well, and
jump
I've
in,
been
but I
talking for
got
the
to,
most part,
because you
so
got to
I
know.
wanted you to kind of. Oh, I'll start off.
But
Okay, so
you put
I'll
me on
start,
the spot on
and
a
then we're
topic
gonna
that
let you come in.
I
But you're
have to
gonna
I have
definitely
to.
have to chime in. Because I
Oh
can't
no,
give
I'm
I
gonna chime
can't
in.
give
No,
a
I'm gonna
couple,
chime
and I
in.
can't give male perspectives. So you're gonna have to chime in. So I'll start off, but then you chime in.
Well, that's a
So
healthy thing right
what
there.
is
I do want to address that. That is very important with the men and women recognizing that we cannot replace each other. You know what I'm saying? And this is why parenting
right?
is so important. So, uh, I mean, we could talk a whole nother topic on parenting, but um, I'm glad you said that because that plays a very important part because yeah, because we had actually a topic earlier talking about um rites of passions for males, but
Right.
that's for that. Like I said, we doing the man woman paradigm right now. So yeah, just
Yeah.
come in. I can kind of figure out, but you
So
got the notes. So yeah, please start us
okay,
off
I
because you
just
got the
got
notes,
well,
Taylor.
I just asked a question. So what I'm saying, this is what this looks like for me,
Hmm.
as a single woman, and again, I've been older, so I've been in relationships, I've been married, and I'm separated, and so being a single person and not in any kind of aphromantic, I'm not even dating really. It looks like preparation for me. It looks like working on myself, uh dealing in actually concentrating on and focusing on my weakest so that I can strengthen myself.
Hmm.
Um Becoming more acquainted with who I am now versus who I used to be. Setting
Okay.
goals for myself. Um uh Becoming the person, or the someone like the person that I want to date or court. Becoming that
Now, okay,
partner. Becoming
you
looking,
say,
being able to mirror what I want.
but the thing, but can I say something to that? But you say date the person, but men and women are different though. Yo, you breaking up.
So if
Damn.
want someone who has a great personality, well, then I need to have that great
Right.
personality. I want someone with a great, who has good, has a likes exercise. Well, then I need to like to exercise. I want someone who's healthy.
Okay.
Well, then I need to be healthy. I want someone who's happy. Then I need to
Okay, I
be
see what you're
happy.
saying.
So I
Right.
need to work on all of the things that I want in a mate. I need to become those things, and that's what this self love and self care journey looks like as a single woman who does want to be in a relationship. Now, if you are a single person and you're happy being single, because again, some women at my age, they're not, no, they're not even men at our age. They're not. They're like, okay, I'm good. No, y'all really don't want to go through that again. But that's why I stress wanting to be in a relationship or a courtship, and not wanting to make the mistakes and not being willing to settle. You have to think about, take notes, have goals, and become who you want. Become that person that will attract what you want. I guess that's an even better way of saying it.
Okay. Okay.
So from a male's perspective, how would you, what does it look like? It's self-love and self-care.
Oh, self-love and self-care. Um, well, number one, I say be yourself. That's the number one thing. Number two, of course, I agree with the diet and exercise. We all have to diet and exercise. That's something that we just have to do. The happiness part. Now, oh gosh, I guess this is where you have to communicate. Now we're getting into the relationship thing. Um, people, I guess people, and this is why I agree with you on the just getting to know your partner part, because people have different levels of what makes them happy. Because I ran into, because I ran into a lot of people that are unhappy. They're unhappy, and um, I don't know if it's just superficial things or just, I mean, I don't know if it's a job. I don't know if it's finances. I don't know. I mean, I feel like as an adult, we all go through stresses, Fela. But
Right.
um, I guess I guess I'm the type of person that accepts the ups and downs in life, and
Right.
I don't let it overwhelm me. I don't say I have the perfect life, but I don't I don't really relate to the unhappiness that a lot of people go through. I tend to have a balance, and so
Right.
as I've gotten older, I've never lost my happiness, but I've
Right.
come across a lot of people that are unhappy, and I guess, I can't tell other people, because even like even with my son, he's very like materialistic. You know what I'm saying, showing pictures of like fake money and Lamborghinis and all that, and I'm just like, yeah, and I'm just like who's dictating these things to these people to say, okay, this is what's going to make you happy. I guess I've never, I don't know. I guess because I'm a simple person, but I mean, I do work for things that I like, that I have, but it doesn't. I don't know. It's just, oh man, this could be a whole, and we winding down, but this could be a whole nother.
Right.
That's why I said it kind of, for me in my mind, it veers off into that. It veers off into that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, damn, I don't want to take your topic and your points and just veer off into a whole different, you know what I'm saying? Um, but I enjoyed this conversation, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I am an advocate of the man woman paradigm. I love it. I love it. I love it. And um I think as men and women, we want to be a part of each other's activities and all that in our lives. And like I said, it's just the happiness thing that I see in others, the unhappiness I see. It kind of worries me. But I'm not, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just weird to
You
me.
want you really want to deal with in most people who find fulfillment being alone. You don't want to be around people who are single and sad and single and oh woe is me type single
Right.
vibes. And what okay,
Okay.
so what I would suggest for those who are single and are not necessarily happy, because I'm a very happy person. I like to say that because I get
Yeah.
happy
I
easily.
can
I
vouch
mean,
Fayla's a happy person. Yes.
right. And yeah, even when I go through stuff, I'm still gonna turn it around. I'm gonna laugh about some stuff that might even be pissing
Right.
me off. Why? Because again, I'm not gonna let nobody just steal my joy. Not
Right.
forever. And I get real angry. But what I was gonna say is
Right.
for
Right.
those who you might be single and unhappy and sad because you're single because you just don't like being single. And I understand that. I've had boyfriends, I've had horrible boyfriends, great boyfriends, all kinds of stuff. So I really don't relate to that. But what I do relate to is getting lonely just because again you like companionship, and sometimes you don't want to just be with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I love me, but sometimes me is not enough all the time. Okay, so
Right.
when those kind of days come, take yourself out on a date, or some so like imagine somewhere that you would like a guy. I like I'm a little hardcore, rough around the edges, so I like a guy who's kind of a little bit more refined, somebody who will take me to a museum. I like that. So I don't have to wait
Class.
for a man to take me to a museum. I
Class.
can get dressed up and I can take myself to a museum. I
Right.
like I'm a foodie, even though I have limited amount of this stuff, but there's all these tons of vegan spots popping up all over everywhere,
Right.
in Orange County, LA, all over the country. So again, find, go through the whatever the newspaper, find a nice museum. If you like museums, if you want to go to a garden, they have the Florentine gardens and things like that. Go find somewhere
Mhm.
classy or nice, or if you like classy or nice. If you like roller skating, go find a roller rink. You don't have to go with anybody. Find what you like. But if you're looking to be treated a certain way, treat yourself that way. Okay. If you want
Okay.
a certain, caliber of man or woman, as a man, same thing. You don't have to take a woman to the museum. Get yourself together. You don't wait until you find a woman who you think has a little bit of class to take you. Start some things. Say if you want a woman with a little bit of class, a little bit of taste, a little, like
Mhm.
she likes a thrift store as well as Bloomingdale's, then you need to be that same kind of guy. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
They have all kinds of poetry nights. They have jazz and coffee and tea bars and all these things. Men and women,
Mhm.
single, take yourself out, get dressed up, put on your cologne, put on your perfume, smack it on, look good, go out there, mix and mingle, and find or get you some joy and some peace. I mean, when you leave alone. You don't even have to get nervous. Don't whatever. Just know that you went out and you participated in life and did something. And again,
Mhm.
become this active person that you want to be with a partner. Don't wait for someone. Don't wait for someone as a man to take out. You take yourself out. As a woman, same. Don't wait for somebody to take you out. If you want to get a girlfriend, go do girls out. Fine. If you want, again, some of the best girls' night out I've had was going out with Fayla Monique. You know who that is? Me. Get all dressed up, smack it on. Ain't no competition. So again, it's the same thing for you men. If you go together, no competition. So again, self-care, self-love. Get out there, get back into life. If you've lost, your whole your energy to actually like be active. I know this COVID has put people in a position where they've gotten really comfortable with being in the house and not getting dressed up and not
Right.
and even being in front of a computer. Like right now, I was just thinking to myself, like it wouldn't even matter if I put on deodorant or not because nobody can smell me, right? We're getting too
Mhm.
comfortable with that. Shower, smack it on. I was saying in another video, treat yourself. Okay, pay all of your bills first, but self-love and self-care is about treating yourself. Join that gym, join that activity. Go,
Mhm.
like I said, go do something that you love to do. I mean, take that trip, plan that trip, start putting $100 a month away or to the side so that you can go take that staycation from you live in Georgia or you live in Atlanta, so you want to go down to Florida for a weekend. Start
Right.
start to treat yourself because that's a part of self-care and self-love. And you
Right,
can
right.
do that as a single person. You don't have to be a couple. And as couples, that's what let's talk about couples really, really quick. I don't want to just like dismiss
Okay.
couples. So this is
Real
some
quick, real quick.
suggestions. Yeah, just suggestions that are for couples because when I said the vacation thing. So I put
Hmm.
make sure you put yourself first as a couple, as an individual. Put yourself first, your self care first, so that you can be there for one another. um Make sure that you have a healthy balance between your your career and your family life. Make sure that you're dating one another. Okay, make sure that you're still dating as a couple, as a married couple. Still do family dates or whatever, outings, and then do one-on-one, just you and your spouse. Go out and go to a movie. Go to, sometimes even just get a babysitter, or drop the children off for the weekend and go get you do a staycation. Go get you a hotel room, or either get the children out of the house and stay home. That's not even fun. Get you a hotel room somewhere, you know, and spend some quality time with one another, just enjoying life, and going to the beach and doing whatever you're gonna do. Um, and then I'm gonna say, the other thing with couples that I noticed, like with my own failed relationships, and this is something that I've always kept in mind. Whenever you feel like there's a disconnect, always go your partner and have a serious conversation. When if you have any inclination that there is some kind of disconnect or a problem, um, value yourself and your relationship enough to be honest with your partner, and tell them what the issues are, what the problems are. If you feel like you guys are apart, talk about it. If you feel like you need more time together, if you even if it's something as simple as, a lot of times people don't tell one another that they want a career change. Sometimes people want to just quit their job and take 2 months
Hmm.
off. These kind of things that happen in life, and we're so afraid we'll lose relationships and things will fall completely apart because you just don't know what's going on in the other person's mind. The person is
Right.
too ashamed, too afraid to talk to their partner, and this is your partner. This is your partner, so you should be able to, put down your guard and trust that you can come to them about anything, because again, this is about self-love and self-care, and your partner is a reflection of yourself. And if you're having issues, whether they be personal or with one another, you have to be able to come together and go over those issues and discuss those issues. And this is for everybody, couples, singles, everybody. If you are having any kind of crises that you cannot work out, whether it's a physical or a mental health challenge, get help, get support. We talked about making sure you have a good primary care physician. If you need therapy as a couple, get therapy. As an individual, get therapy. As a family, get therapy. There's nothing wrong with therapy. There's nothing that's not black or urban or cool about getting therapy. All therapy is just coming together and having a discussion about what's going on with you mentally and emotionally, and in order to get support. So therapy is not about just coming together and talking and just getting the stuff off your chest. No, at the end of each session, you should be coming to some kind of a conclusion, and then when we come back together again, we pick up where we left off. But we should be growing and you should be getting better. And again, if you have issues that you cannot work out amongst each other as a couple, or even by yourself, you're having issues, get therapy. Get someone who is a professional to help you and support you through your issues, because you're not supposed to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. You're not supposed to do it alone. This is not, and again, you're not going to be able to be physically healthy if you're not mentally healthy, and vice versa. So it all works together. And when we're talking about self-love and self-care, we have to get a support team of people around us. And those people who are not supportive, and those people who challenge you and who don't want to see you healthy and don't want to see you be a better version of yourself, remove them from your life. Remove
How
them.
do you
Let
how do
them
you
go.
recognize those people? How do you recognize them?
You recognize those people by the people who don't celebrate you, the people who don't celebrate
Oh.
when you can admit you have a problem, the people who don't celebrate you, or even the people who don't admonish you or correct you when you're wrong. when you're wrong. You know when you're wrong, and you know
Mm.
when you got friends who actually love and care for you and will correct you in love and care. And then you have those yes men, yes women who are kind of like whatever because they want to see you fall. They want to see, or not necessarily want to see, they just want to see. You know what I mean? And again, you don't want the looky loos. The looky loos out of your life too. You need support. That's
Right,
all you
right.
need in life's journey. And this journey at this point in our lives, you've had enough challenges. You've had enough competition. You've had
Mhm.
enough people who want to deter you and distract you. All you need in your life right now is 100% support and cheerleaders. Okay. And when I say
Right.
you don't have fans, you have support, I'm serious about that. Don't look for fans because fans will be fanatic over you today and somebody else tomorrow. But when you have supporters and people who would genuinely love you, they're going to chasten you, they're going to correct you, they're going to hug you, they're going to laugh with you, they're going to smile with
Mhm.
you, they're going to cry with you. People are down for you, and again, me and Black Son don't agree on everything, but the Most High and the ancestors and the universe will send those ones and ones who will support you on your journey. And again, we have to remember that, I mean, we've said it a million times. We have people who are in our lives for what, a lifetime, and some who are seasonal, and those who have outgrown there, or it's not their season, and you've outgrown one another. Maybe somebody's outgrown you, vice versa. You have to learn how to let them go with grace, okay, and with class. And you don't get angry when ships pass, because it's time for that door to close so that the next door can open. So again, just we have to get on a page where we understand that we're all constantly growing, and we all need support, and we need to surround ourselves with those ones who are a part of our journey. And we need to learn how to walk away when we can't be supportive of other people's journeys. And we need to learn how to, again, say dismiss people with a smile and with grace and with class. You don't have to, just go off and be mad because some things don't work out, or some relationships or some business deals don't pan out, or they run their course.
Mhm.
So that's all about self-love and self-care. And when people mutually love themselves and others, we know how to part gracefully. We know how to
Mhm.
come together and argue professionally and with love and care and concern, if that needs to be the mode. So again, these people when you can actually come together. And like I said, myself and Black Son don't agree on a few different issues, but we can come together because again, there's mutual respect. Okay. And that's how you can work with someone, when you can get some mutual respect. And again, nobody's perfect, people, and we can have a totally different conversation offline and laugh. And I can totally, like when we talk about be yourself, I'm not gonna just do whatever online. But again, these are the people when you can be yourself, when you can let loose. And my brother know, okay, I know she might cut loose on the phone over here, but she ain't finna hop online and do that. You know what I'm saying? Again, people, you have to surround yourself with people you're comfortable with, and not to the degree that they're not going to correct you, but to the degree that you can be yourself, you can grow, and they'll sharpen you, and you can sharpen them.
Now, Soul Deacons of Reality just left an interesting comment. He said, I also think our parents have an important role in our views in relationships. That I like that. I like that comment. Oh, you want
Yeah.
to touch on that? Because I got something to say to that, definitely.
Well, you know what, and I agree, and I would say that I came from such a dysfunctional background that is probably why I've not been as successful as others in the love arena. I don't want to say the love game because I don't like playing games, but
Right.
in relationships, because and I'm going to tell you what I saw. What I saw, I was raised by my grandmother and my step grandfather. What I saw was my grandmother tolerating a lot of stuff and accepting a lot of stuff. And I saw my grandmother over the years, even in her passing, rest in peace, saw her lose a lot of stuff. So from my perspective, seeing that, like, how some women, it's like, in my mind, it's like, I'm never gonna be that woman. I'm never going to be that woman that, is going to be with a man just to be in a relationship, just to say that I have the man, I have the house, I've been married for 30 years, because I saw behind that curtain. You know what I mean? And like everybody, like I said, well, I went to church. Nobody knew what was going on in our house. Nobody knew the dysfunction. Nobody knew, what Sister Blanche was doing behind closed doors, right? But you know, yeah. Well, from what I saw, I totally agree. It taught me that it's easier to be alone, and it's better to be alone than to be with somebody for years and years and years and let them walk all over. And I know for a fact that that's not how all men are, but it's just something that's been, ingrained that I have to work out. I have to work through. And again, I pray that my daughters, I'm trying to work it out so that my daughters don't have to work it out. Right. But in fact, we are definitely influenced by the things that we see and how it affected us. Because I would say that for the next person, like maybe for my aunts, that might, being in dysfunctional relationships for years and years and years is because they just want to be like their mama and keep a man and have a man and have a man. I'm the complete opposite. I was in there. I know what keeping that man took, and I know how, what the heartbreak was, and there was no balance, in my opinion. And so I've never wanted that for myself.
Right. So
thank you.
yes, definitely agree with that 100%. um, uh, and I'm glad that you don't. Well, I guess that's the thing. When dealing with your parents, and I guess some people grew up in a single parent household, and like you said, sometimes might observe things and it might be so pleasant, but where or when or how do we, I guess, because I've seen similar situations where people are like, I mean, I've seen people on this internet be like, "Oh, I don't need no man in this," and just be really angry. And then, but when you learn about the background, you learn that they come from a single household, never been around men. So it's just like, I don't know. There's a lot of, I
I
guess,
find the balance, because sometimes I have to check myself. I will really, honestly, I'm just going to be honest with everybody. I come from
Mhm.
a Bible belt thumping background.
Okay.
I admit, because like you said, I had the two-parent home. I saw my grandmother and my grandfather functioning as a couple
Mhm.
forever. That's what I lived. I left that. I ran from that.
Now,
Um,
I gotta ask this question, Faith, because you know now because we I gotta ask about the church background because I remember hearing about a time where our great grandparents would actually go to church to meet somebody. Now the church is full of women talking about I don't need a man. Like it's like what happened?
well, you
What
know
time
what?
period? I mean, some people say is Margaret Sanger. She came in and made a deal with the church, and then next thing you know, Planned Parenthood, and now all of a sudden women don't need men. But it was a time before Margaret
It's
Sanger
never
was.
it's never been about not needing men. That's why I wanted to try to say it's never been about not needing a man. I would say that I've had to check a Jezebel spirit. That's what I wanted to say. I've had to check my own, excuse me, my own Jezebel spirit, because I need a man. I'm not the one. Like I said, I saw
Okay,
the
but who's going
balance.
around calling people Jezebels? I don't get.
No,
Well,
well, I'm
women.
saying
Let me say
I'm
this:
calling myself a Jezebel, having a
Women are the hardest on themselves and other women. Y'all are hard. I don't think it's coming from us men. Really don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. That judgmentalness does not come from us. We
yeah.
happy with
And the
y'all.
thing
I
about
think
it
that
is,
judgmental comes from y'all judging yourselves and other women.
listen.
And that comes from the. I'm gonna keep it real. It wasn't until Margaret Sanger came to the church, it disrupted that whole thing because it the
Uh-oh, we froze. You froze, I froze.
Okay, hold on. Margaret, yeah, see, they don't want me talking about Margaret Sanger, man. They don't want me talking
Wow.
about that when coming during the church right before the civil rights movement,
Huh.
messing up, disrupting that whole thing, and then now all of a sudden, women don't need men.
No, what I wanted to say is there's just a fine line. We do need men, but what we don't need to do is use our sensuality and our sexuality and our beauty to beguile men. And that's what, when I say a Jezebel spirit, it's kind of like, not necessarily wanting to be with somebody, but gonna get what you can get from them or whatever, whatever. And again, being very guarded. But at the end of the day, what I want to say about that kind of a spirit, you end up single. You end up, because again, you're too busy manipulating situations where you don't, when you're not spending time trying, where versus, and I don't mean when you don't, I don't know if you understand exactly
See,
what a
no, I
Jezebel
understand
spirit
exactly
is.
what you're saying. This is like a lot
Men
of
men carry a Jezebel spirit. They just
right, right, right,
gigolos.
right.
We call them gigolos. We call, and what a gigolo is more of a prostitute, but a Jezebel is not a prostitute. A Jezebel is someone
But
who just
all
is
this
extracting beauty.
judgmentalness comes from the church all of a sudden. I'm just
Well,
saying
no,
all this judgmentalness
because I'm actually judging myself based on the idea that
based
if
on what
I
though?
want to hold on, if I want to be in a good balanced relationship, then I can't be
Mhm.
running around beguiling all of the men, because then the man who loves me is going to question how devoted I will be to him. Well, you got all these other men at your disposal. Well, where do I fit
So then
into
how
this
do
puzzle?
we then how do
So,
we down how do we set a balance then? Because
well, as a
I'm
woman, you
seeing the
set the
women
balance by recognizing if you're dealing in either or. If you're dealing in this, oh, I don't need a man halfway butch, wanna be a man. Think you got a dick. Okay. If you're dealing with that
right.
spirit, you need to check that. If you're dealing in a, oh, I'm so fine, I take your man. Because I would really, and I'm just being honest, 10, 15 years ago, I had a lot of women. I had, just I we there is a problem with black women in our relationships with one another. And I did have a
Right.
haughty spirit where it's kind of like, oh, you don't like me? Well, bitch, I'll take your man type vibe. That is a Jezebel spirit, because you don't even want the
I
person's man.
get that.
But
I
you
get
just so
that.
catty about women and so ridiculous in your ways that you gonna prove to this woman and all the other women. And I used to have a real serious thing with and I'm gonna say it, with mixed and
Eh,
light skinned women, because of
right.
my background and my family. We have a whole light skin, dark skin element that's always been, my people are from the South. And like I said, so there's always this light skin, dark skin, good hair, bad hair. And again, until you check those Jezebel spirits and until you check these ideals within yourself, it ain't about the church and none of that. It's about us being in competition with one another, and always once again worried about the European standard of beauty and comparing ourselves on their scale, instead of just like I said, honoring ourselves and each other as individuals. So when I say checking Jezebel spirit, I mean on all behalves. And when I say checking that butchy, I don't need a man, I am a man, I want to be a man, you got to check both of those, and you have to find a
Right.
clear balance. We do. And again, I'm almost 50 years old in a few years. So, this comes with maturity. Okay. So when you go and you listen to these 35-year-old women who are
Right.
talking and they're addicted and oh boop boop, and those are the ones who are going now to get the augmentations and the lifts and all that. See, the women my age ain't doing all that. We're not doing that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's the ones, 10, 15 years younger than me, going to, and again, it all goes back to self-love, self-care, and self-respect. That's what we need to end it with. Some self-respect. Once you get some self-love, self-care, and have that true, genuine self-respect, you're not going to run around with any kind of spirits that need to be checked. You're not going to be running around like a Jezebel. You're not going to be running around like a he be, she be, we be. You're not going to be down for whatever. You're going to really be striving to be the best version of yourself. Okay. I constantly want to say that we are in competition with no one but our prior selves, our ourselves 5 minutes ago. I want to be a better person today than I was
Mhm.
yesterday. When you start trying to compare yourself to someone else, or you start trying to
Right.
live
Yeah, I
up
agree with
to other
that.
people's expectations, you're always going to fall short. But once you
Oh,
decide,
can I say something real quick? Because you
yes,
talk about other people's expectations. I mean, we live in a culture where we're expected to live in like who dictates like I'm just gonna throw it out there, like music. We talked about music today now I'm giving you some male stuff that
Right.
because it was only for the men only, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I was saying this because I know you mentioned a while ago with Save Our Sons back when you were doing a show. You mentioned Save Our Sons and
When I
uh
see,
right and we talked about what's damn I keep forgetting that word when a young boy becomes a man. What do they call that?
the rites of passage, or
Rites of passage, right? But the thing is, because I mean, I'm just going to keep it 100, Fela. You got a lot of black men now. They don't want to go to the churches, but you got black women that say, "Oh, you got to be a Christian." Fela, I keep telling
well,
y'all
you know
this.
what? Let me tell you
Hold
something.
on, let me say
Black
this though.
women
Let me
are
say
coming.
this. Let me
Black
say this.
women
Let
are
me
coming
say
out
this.
of the church too, though. And again,
Well,
because I come from the AME church,
mhm.
most people who come from the AME church understand that once you get to a certain stage in the church, you're supposed to go out amongst the people and it be amongst the people. You're not necessarily dedicated to walls. You are the church. You are the temple. You are supposed to be walking around teaching Christian Bible principles to
Okay.
your
Can I
neighbors, to
can I
your
can I cut
community. That
in?
is your
Can I
job
cut
as a
in?
so-called
Can I
Christian.
cut in? Can I cut in?
Yes.
What is good for y'all may not necessarily be good for us. Men and women are different. What I'm saying is that
Mhm.
men are men are like we don't want the church. We want y'all, but we don't want the church. We don't so y'all look at it and like, well, it's good for
But what
me.
women
Well,
women
let
are
me
not
say
going
this.
to church anymore. What women do you
Okay,
know
but
that are,
even if they're not, what I'm saying is that I
you
just
don't
use
want
that
the
as
church mindset? You don't want the mindset
no,
either.
no,
Is
no,
that
no,
what
no, no.
you're
What
saying?
I don't want, no, listen to what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
What I'm saying is that what there has to be a space where men are men and women are women.
Right.
I'm just gonna keep it blank. I'm gonna keep it comme blanchant with you. Today, the men and they'll vouch for. We talked about mosh pits.
Facts.
Okay, we talked about mosh pits. You know what I'm saying? Black men, there's a big resurge of we like going to metal concerts and going slam dancing. Y'all don't like that, but that's just a man thing. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah, I've been to raves, but that's the hip hop one. They had it on the other side.
listen to what I'm saying. We don't want the hip hop. It's been effeminized. We don't we've been effeminized so much with the media, with the hip hop is done. It's over with. Anytime you got gay rappers and it's effeminized, it's over with. The last bastion of music we got left is heavy metal. I'm just keeping it 100 in the mosh pits. And you're seeing more and more and more black men attending these things. This is just and I said it today because it's no longer a secret. We love going to that, but you're not going to see black women at that because y'all are spiritual. You guys are connected to the Most High and God and Allah and all that. That's y'all. That's not us. And you have to. That's not us. It's just not.
Well, you
It's
know
not
what?
us.
And the thing is,
It's
I
not.
grew up in that kind of a house. My grandmother went to
I
church
get it.
faithful 3, 4 times
But
a week, and my grandfather
that
never went to church. Never, never, not even for
because
the
we don't like
holidays.
it.
You
Because
know where
men,
he
we
went?
don't like it.
You know where
We
he
don't like
went
it.
every Sunday? He
Where'd he
went
go?
before my grandmother and I got out the door to get to Sunday school. He was already out the door to get to Santa Anita racetrack. So that's what he did on Sundays. He had his
And,
radio.
and, and
He
I'm all
picked his
for that.
horses. He picked his horses, and we getting ready for Sunday school. He's getting ready for the racetrack. Okay,
What
so
I'm saying
that was
is
it.
right,
And
right,
again, they
right.
had their relationship was fine because she
Yeah, it was
understood that and she
fine.
was fine with that. Now I think he was, but
Say it again. No, no, that's not. No, no. And see that the church is
he
programming
was
y'all to
a devil.
think
He
that
was.
way.
But I mean, that ain't my relationship.
No, no,
So
no, 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 no. But wait. Hold on. Let's rewind it. But their relationship was fine, though, right?
don't know what I mean. For them, sure.
For,
It's
okay, okay,
actually
okay.
their
So
idea.
okay. So
And what
relationship.
he didn't
All
have
right.
to worry about is
So
my grandmother going to church, meet no other men. And see, that's the one thing. If
because
if it
men
was
don't
if
want
the
to.
roles were reversed and my grandmother was the one who was going to the racetrack and he was going to church, oh, he'd be trying to screw every woman at the church while he was in there. See,
Yeah, but what I'm
I'm just
saying
saying.
is at the end of the day, the church, the church is the cause. Islam and all these religions are the cause of the infeminization of men. It just is. That's why you have a lot of gay men in the churches. It causes. It's not for us. It's for y'all, and we have
Well,
to.
I've been out of the church
We-
for so long. I'm just not even familiar with.
that's
I'm
fine.
telling you.
But you're.
And most,
That's fine.
I'm what I'm saying is the new the this like black women are not real. I guess they're calling it spiritualists or whatever, which I'm not gonna call myself
And that
spiritualist.
belongs to you. Whatever it is,
But
that belongs to
the
y'all. It
point
don't belong
is,
to us.
they're not going no churches. Like I've not been in a church in years. Actually, I got kicked out of a church in Atlanta. It's the lady, they stopped coming to pick me and my children up on the
Mhm.
church bus. Okay. And then
Okay.
I drove there on my own, and then she like literally did a whole little seance and called me all kinds of stuff from the pulpit, and so
Right.
basically didn't
Being
want me back at her
judgmental. Right.
church.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm not you don't have to first of all, most of the people who are at church are churchy, religious. I'm not into that. And if you grew
I
up
mean, whether
in the church,
women
more than
are or
like you
not,
probably not
yeah,
in the church. People who are at the church right now are people who, in general, either they're old school, been going to church for a million years, or they new, just
mhm,
started going to church. People who grew up in the church, you already know that you've learned all you can learn. It's like going to high school when you're
mhm,
30. Why are you still in high school in 30? No, you know why you're still in high school at 15 and 12 and 13. But by the
mhm.
time you hit 25, you're not going to high school. So it
Right.
is what it is. And those who are stuck there, they're praying for those women and vice versa. And like I say, any real, not, no, I'm not gonna say real, but most women, like somebody like me, the men are just too gay. It's almost like going to a strip club. It's like
But that's what they're
I
supposed to be.
don't
If
want
you're
to
going
be in
to,
strip.
if you, I'm gonna say this again. If you are a man and you're going to
Yeah.
the church, that's what you're supposed to be because the Bible talks about eunuchs. Is basically turning them into eunuchs. That's what it is.
It's
The
turn them into
Bible
gay
is
men.
not the Bible. Church is not meant for the alpha male, for men that are masculine
I would
men.
agree.
That's not
I would
for
agree.
us.
And I don't I think
Now
most of
but the whole concept, the whole God, Jesus,
the
whatever you call it,
way
it's
the
not
way
for us.
America is set up, the way America is set up is not pro alpha male, let alone pro
It
alpha
is. No,
black
no, I
male.
disagree with that. No, no, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. It is
Well,
our look, let me break it down. Let me break it down. As a black man, I can say this. We get the roles put on us like, oh, you got to be a Christian man and this and that. That comes from our community. Okay. America provides the space again for men to be men. Again, the mosh pits. That's, I mean,
well, when I say
it's
that, I'm talking about the entertainment aspect of it and just the everyday exposure to so much homosexual lifestyle.
right.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like you want a
Okay.
man to be a man, but every way that a man looks up, he's seeing all of these things that are telling him that you get more advantages if you're gay, or at least be more accepting of
Well,
the whole
again,
gay trans. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying in the media and
no,
entertainment,
I agree with
um,
what you're saying
they,
with the
they're
media.
force
That's
feeding
why,
they're force feeding men to try to make them more submissive
we're not
to
watching that stuff
that
though.
community.
But we're not watching that stuff.
I mean, and not even just I don't necessarily mean actual, just commercials, just television, billboards. When
We're
you're driving down
leading.
and I'm in LA, so I don't know how bad it is in Georgia, but here in LA, it's like all
Mhm.
lives matter. Like, why do you need to say all lives matter? Because they want to put the flag on top of the Black Lives Matter, and this is in the middle of LA. It's like that's so the only reason why you're doing in the middle of LA with all black and brown people, you have to put all lives matter. Why? there's the only reason why, because you're pushing this gay stuff. I mean, again, and
But
it's pushing
Fela,
tolerance
hold
to
on,
the
hold on,
point
hold on,
where
hold on,
mm,
hold on. The founders of Black Lives Matter, are the women not all gay?
yeah, they are. And then well, George Soros is the founder,
So
but
right. So what why are we fighting a fight? Then we're gay
what
women to begin
no,
with.
I'm not
So,
even
so
talking
what?
about that. What I'm talking
Right, right,
about is
right,
the
right, right, right.
propaganda that's being pushed. When I
Right.
am driving down Crenshaw and I see two males in a
Mhm.
rainbow saying all Black lives matter and they kissing each other, and it's really
Right.
and let me reiterate that it is about it'll say all lives matter, and then at the bottom it'll say something about HIV awareness. So you're mixing Black lives matter, all lives matter, gay, and
Mhm.
HIV. You know, it's like I said, it's a lot of programming, and it's telling and be yourself. Take the HIV test, but be yourself. So they have to have a gay couple, two men, still being gay, taking an HIV test. You're telling us in so many ways that we want to do this. All the it's programming to it's okay to be gay. It's okay to get
Being
AIDS. It's
programmed.
okay. You're going to take these medications and you're just going to keep on being gay. You're going to keep on doing what's killing
But
you.
see, that's the
You know?
difference between and
Uh-oh.
I get you about the billboards and all that. What I'm saying is that with the TV shows, with the music, we're just pushed away from that stuff. So, like I said, we've abandoned hip hop because hip hop has been feminized. So we've abandoned it. We
Right.
are going, we are going, and you're not going to agree with this, but we're going to the black metal concerts. We're going to the death metal concerts. We're going
Why
to
would I not agree? I don't
because the bands are satanic. That's why.
well, let me tell you something. I don't agree with bitch this, bitch that, suck my dick hole. I don't agree with that either.
And we
So
don't agree with it either. And that's why I'm
yeah,
saying
I
we've
don't
been
agree with
pushed.
either one. So
Right. We've been pushed towards a whole nother genre. And what I'm saying is I'm seeing a big surgence of black men in metal. You know what I'm saying? Because that is
I mean, and
we're
if that's
looking at that
it
as a form of
is, you
what
know.
I'm saying is that we look at that as a form of something that's not going to take away our masculinity. You know what I'm saying? Like the mosh pits, that is, I mean, you're laughing, but the mosh pit deals with strength. It deals with perception. It deals with endurance. I mean, I know it seems funny, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, we're not, at least it's not hip hop where we're walking around with gold blonde dreadlocks and lipstick and calling ourselves Young Thug and that dumb
And
shit. You know what I'm saying?
dresses and
Right? Or
they wear dresses in metal too.
or watching transvestite TV shows and shit. We're not. This is what we've been forced to do. So we've been forced to head in a whole different direction. And
Well,
I'm
hey.
just saying.
And like
I'm
with
just
me,
saying.
that's why I
So
separated myself from the hip hop circle years ago and started saying spoken word. And I mean, look at that. Imagine that. I started saying that I'm a poet years and years ago. And
mhm,
now there's the whole spoken word that is just so common. It's just every day.
mhm.
So anything, if it's positive, I don't know, like you said, if it's satanic metal, I don't know. Can't they make something that's not satanic that's metal? I don't know, but it's not my business.
It's just it's not even. Well, see, that's another thing. See,
You're saying
men.
it's satanic. I
No,
don't
no,
know
hold
anything
on, hold
about
on,
it.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. When I'm saying it doesn't matter if they're satanic or not. If satanic is just a thing, we need as men need to be stopped being so sensitive. Like, oh my gosh, they're satanic. That is some bitch shit. Is what I'm trying to say. It's some bitch pussy shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They're satanic Bennett. So what? Deal with the shit and go to it and have a good time. Be a man, man up. That's what the fuck
Let a man be a
that we're
man.
saying, right? Man
Well,
up. Like
I don't have a problem with a
don't let
man being
that
a man
shit.
as long as I don't include
Right, right. But
being
see
a
the thing.
whore, a slut whore,
I got you. I got
a
you.
robo
I got
slut.
you.
Yeah.
I
If
got
it's
that.
just
Right.
some loud banging music and jumping around and having a few beers, then whatever. That's like okay, they want to go to the bar, they want to go bowling or whatever.
Right. Well, where I was going with this is that, like I said, the media, the music is trying to feminize us, so we're just avoiding all that. You know,
Right.
they can't program us. They
Right.
can't program us. We'll just we'll turn off all the TVs, cut the music, and we'll
Right.
find a new part. Right. Well, that's
That's
what I'm
how
saying.
I
We're
feel too.
drawn.
It's like, okay, people want to make you feel like you're not part of. You're not invited to the party. There are so many parties that I'm never invited to, and you know what I say? Fuck you. Like seriously, who cares?
Right.
At
Right.
the end of
Right.
the day, You have to do what feeds your spirit and what feeds your soul and what makes you a better person. And no, you don't. You need to go where you're celebrated and where your manhood and your womanhood is celebrated, not where it's questioned and challenged. So whatever
That's
that is,
all. That's all. That's all. I'm trying to get to. That's all I'm
right?
trying to get to. I
I
celebrate the
mean, the
man
women
and
are
the
in the same
man.
predicament. Where I mean, like heterosexual women are in the exact same predicament where we just want to
Okay.
be able to be somewhere where we can be celebrated. We don't have to, walk
Right.
on eggshells, be hushed anytime we mention anything that just remotely sounds like we love men and we love sex and we love, that kind of stuff, that kind of talk is not supposed to be tolerated unless it's some lesbian talk, no, it's time out for all of that. Let real women be real women. Let real
Mhm.
men be real men. And you are the church, sisters. That's what you need to remember when you're trying to convince a man about God and finding the God in himself and all that stuff. Again, that's what you need to convince a man of, finding the
No, no,
God in
no, no,
himself.
no, 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 no.
I'm
That's
talking to my sisters
y'all.
here. I'm
That no, no,
talking
no,
to
no,
my
no.
God, my sisters here. I'm not talking to you.
But no,
You
but
don't
what
have
I'm saying is,
hold
don't
on.
push
I'm
that on
sis,
us.
sis, sisters. You
Okay.
don't have
Listen what
to
you're saying though.
convince a man to believe in God. Just make
Okay.
sure that if you believe and trust in the Most High, you can get to be on one accord with your man. He can trust and believe in himself, and trust and believe in his higher self, and be the best man that he can be. Because
I,
to get a man to believe in himself is hard enough job, let alone God. Get him to believe in himself, because that's going to be important. If he knows that he can act as God, which is his higher self, the best man that he can possibly be, that should be good enough for you. You don't have to force somebody to believe in Allah or Jehovah or any of that, because it's not going to be
right.
important. If you believe, sis, you pray for your man. You know, because if you know, then we don't have to deal with beliefs. I know what I know. I don't have to deal with too much belief. So I know that we are gods with a lowercase g. I know that we are the manifestation of creation. Okay, made into flesh. Just like we're gonna leave this flesh, right? We're not gonna have this flesh forever. We still have whatever is beyond that. That's what I know. I don't have to. I don't have to. Black Sun can't convince me of anything else, right?
I'm not trying
Right.
to. No, no. What I'm
But
trying
that's
to.
what I'm saying.
No, no, no. I'm
And
not
I'm
trying
not
to. I'm not
trying to
trying.
convince you
I'm
of
not trying to
anything
take
else.
that away from
But
you. That's right.
yeah, what I'm saying is, as women, the same way that we don't want the men to try to take God or our faith or our strength from us, we can't take it from them. So if you got a man that you love and he ain't necessarily on the same page as you, or on the as of the same faith or thoughts or whatever, if they genuinely good man, whatever the case may be,
Oh, we're
you
different.
do what you do on your level and pray and meditate and do what you do. You don't have to worry about him, because if he's a good man, he's a good man. He doesn't have to have Jehovah. He doesn't have to have Allah. He doesn't have to
That's
have
what
Buddha.
I'm
He doesn't
talking
have to
about.
have any of that, as long as he has himself as a good, upstanding man. Okay, all the rest of itself
Right.
the rest will work itself out. Now, if you got a
Right.
jackass, no good man or woman, they can call themselves Christians, Muslims, all that. If they ain't shit, they ain't shit, regardless to the religion that they carry. So, and again, we need to learn how to love and respect religion, regardless to the religious people, because the religion is just a code of ethics and morals and values. So you can respect other people's religion and not even deal with these individuals as religious people, because religious people are not perfect people. So they're going to constantly be hypocrites. Okay, you call yourself a Christian. A Christian is damn near perfect individual. So you're a hypocrite even calling yourself a Christian if you're a Christian. That's why I say a so-called Christian. So again, don't try to hold anybody up to any standards that you can't necessarily hold yourself up to. And if you love somebody, you do what you do on your end and let them do what they do on their end.
Okay. I can agree with that. I mean, I know object.
Yeah, like
No
if a
objection.
man loves a
I
woman, you
mean,
gonna let her, if she want to go to church every Sunday, you gonna stop her from going to church?
no. Mm-mm.
I mean, and you ain't gonna be able to force me to
Just
go to
don't
no
ask me to
church.
go. Just don't ask me to go. Like, I'll be like,
Yeah,
hey, what
little
is
big
it?
girl
You're
go
like,
to church.
okay.
I'm like, I'm going to church. I'm going to church. All right. I'm going down to Huntington Beach and I'm gonna have church at the beach right after I hit this blunt. No, I'm just playing. I'm just joking. Uh,
Oh
but
man.
again, it's
Well,
like, what if you know? So this is what I want to say, and then we're gonna get up out of here. If you
okay.
met
We're
this
gonna be on
perfect,
tomorrow. We're gonna
beautiful,
do this again
wonderful
tomorrow.
Christian woman who goes to church every Sunday, you wouldn't give her the time of day because she goes to church every Sunday and she likes to go to church and she doesn't curse and she doesn't swear and she exercises and she's vegan. That would be a problem if she went to or mosque. Let's not even make it church. Let's make her a Muslim. So she goes to the mosque and she's a
Mhm.
devout Muslim. She prays. What is it? 5 times or 3 times? How many times they pray?
Okay.
I'm not laughing at praying, but would you give that woman a chance? Would that be a problem? How would you
Yeah,
handle a woman?
yeah, just don't ask me to go. That's it.
So how do you balance that kind of a relationship if you're with a devout Muslim woman
Uh-huh.
and you are a metal slammer?
Well, first of all, them Muslims got to understand Jesus Christ ruled this country here. God dang it.
Oh Lord, now you're
No, no, no.
twisting.
I'm being serious. No, no, no. What I'm saying is, look, there's different levels of it. So you're saying that, going to church and this and that. What people don't understand about their own religion, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism pushes a theocracy, though. So they push to turn covert everybody. That's where I draw the line. So don't
Right.
ask me to go to that. And what I'm saying is, because a lot of women are Christians and whatever, whatnot. Just don't ask me to go there because I'm not that is a place of effeminization for men like myself. I'm not gonna go there. So don't just ask, don't I'm gonna do everything a man's supposed to do. Don't ask me to go to that place. That's
All
not for
right.
me. It's
Yeah.
not
So
for
I
you.
mean,
It's
and
for
again,
y'all.
that's what it goes
For
back to being
y'all.
equally yoked. You get with a woman who you're equally yoked with. You might not have the same views, but at least you
I don't agree
agree
with that.
on
That's
certain
some
stuff.
church. I'm gonna say something to that too. That don't
Yeah.
need to
Well,
do
what do
with
you
that
want to
stuff.
say? What
That's
we do?
churchy
So
stuff.
what do you think I mean when I say equally yoked?
Meaning convert your man into a Christian.
No, equally
That's what I
yoked
get.
means you come into the relationship on the same note. So equally yoked means that whatever you bring to the table, I bring the equivalent. It may not be the same thing, but we balance each other. We're equivalent and equally yoked. We do believe very much similarly. So if no, if you are a devout Christian and I am a atheist and I don't believe one word about the Bible or Christianity or Jesus or none of that,
Hmm.
we're not equally yoked because we don't have anything. We don't have that in
And
common. That's one of
that's
the most
why,
important things.
and that's why there's so many single women. That right there, because Margaret Sanger,
Well,
when
and
she
again,
created the church, she brought in some bullshit, and I'm gonna goddamn do my research on that. But y'all, a lot of black people don't know the dealings Margaret Sanger had dealing with the church. They don't know that meeting. They don't. A lot of people don't even know that history. They don't know even who Margaret Sanger is. Planned Parenthood, like
yeah.
the woman who wanted to eliminate black babies, in
Hmm.
bed with the churches, like down with MLK. Like they don't see that paradigm shift that happened that really wrecked the black family. Like she was in the church, willing and dealing, whatever she did, fucked the
Hmm.
black family up and
Hmm.
fucked our relationships up. Whatever the fuck she did it. Because
Yeah, all
before
that.
Margaret Sanger came along, we were having
Welfare.
like 10, 12 kids and we were getting married and it was not a problem.
Right.
Black son
Until they
don't
put
have
parenthood on
pre
every corner.
pre Margaret Sanger. As an atheist, I'm saying I had no problems with the church pre Margaret Sanger. After Margaret Sanger came, she came with a fucked up agenda. She came with and it fucked up. You had more black gay men. It just fucked up the black people. Margaret Sanger was a fucking H bomb on the goddamn black community here in America. So
Well,
no,
I would say right now the LGBTQIEIEIOs are the equivalent to her because
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah. She's
whole
a spawn of that. Yeah, they're
yeah,
a spawn of her work. All that. Yeah, it's a spawn of her
because and
work.
I say it because they have at every angle co-opted every single revolutionary movement of black natives in this country. Every
Mhm.
single opportunity. I think I told you about how when I first got back to California, they were having that Black Lives Matter rally in Leimert Park, and I was out there, doing the phones. And I just happened to, I saw all of the vans. So I went over to check out what was going on. And from a distance, it looked just like a Mexican woman. So I'm like, okay, well, they need a black woman. I get up
Mhm.
there and it is a Mexican trans man
Right.
representing for Black Lives Matter. So
Right.
I am appalled. And what Najee, if anybody, all you LA people, y'all know Najee on the news every 5 damn minutes with his sorry ass from the
Right.
NAACP. His ass, no, this man, my people have to come like pull him to the side because he gonna try to act like he's gonna attack me for going off. He's like, oh, we paid money for this. We put out media alerts, and I'm like, I don't give a damn what you did. You're talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm coming up to see what's going on in Lamert Park, a park that I've been a part of this community since I was 16 years old. Okay. And then you got
Right.
some transvestite or whatever they are, trans Mexican man dressed in a dress. Okay. Talking about Black Lives Matter. Now, if you're talking about
Mhm.
trans and LGBTQIEIOs and y'all's parade and stuff, I don't have nothing to do with that. I'm not against that. I am against, number one, I'm 100% against the rainbow going from rainbow push with Jesse
Just
Jackson to now they took over the flag. I'm against that. I got a problem with that. And that's what I mean by co-opting. Even with the dream. The dream children. Martin Luther King had a dream, but now all of a sudden, and that's once again, that's a little bit different, but it's still the same stuff where these people just come from whatever walks of life, the Mexican trans man, woman gonna talk do Black Lives Matter. Then you got the dream people, they're gonna take over the dream with their
But
children
again,
come over
Fela,
here from Mexico.
you gotta
I'm
always
just
go back
saying,
to the people. Black Lives Matter are gay women, so that's their people. They just hijacked the name Black Lives Matter. Let them have that. They were gay. As long as they're gay people, that's their people. So that means those three gay lesbian women, that trans, all that is they people. That is they people. It's not our people.
well,
So
that's
we got to
fine, but
learn.
again, I think that even if that's them and whatever, then we need to put and that's what again that's in my part of my first book, and when I go back to finishing that book, we're going to put them back on the chopping block and under examination. Black Lives
I
Matter,
mean,
because
well,
again, I don't care. Who I don't care about the lesbians that George Soros gave the funding to and the blah blah blah. I don't
mhm.
care about that. I care about a huge movement that involves my people in my country that you keep linking to
Hold on.
reparations and all this stuff. But you really don't care about reparations, and you don't really care about Black people. You're pushing. So I mean, okay. You're not even really pushing any kind of agenda. What you're doing is you're a distraction. So you've garnered all of this attention around Black Lives Matter just to distract from a real revolutionary movement, making sure that we got some reparation, restoration, and things like that happening for us. So that's what when I say they come in, they co-op,
So,
and they
Kayla,
take over to distract. They don't take over to make it
I
better. They
disagree
don't
with
take
that. I
over
disagree.
to
I disagree. I disagree. When did they infiltrate in Cobra? Because we
what
come
no,
from we come.
you got to go to
Come
their
on.
website. On their
No, no,
website,
no, 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 no.
I'm talking about their actual movement.
When did they infiltrate in Cobra?
I don't know about infiltrating in Cobra,
They never have.
the organization. I'm saying they've added reparations
No,
to
I
their
get that.
agenda. And
I
but
get
they
that.
but and I'm saying they're adding all of this stuff to their agenda on a website as talking points, but they're actually not doing anything
I get that.
whatsoever. They're collecting money, they're buying homes, they're making commercials, they're buying property. They're fattening, lining their own pockets for and making more commercials. I don't know what they're doing, but they ain't doing no reparations. They're not doing any real. So my point is, they took over one thing. They keep co-opting to distract and tear down, so that whatever
You
we're
can't
actually
allow.
doing,
You can't
even in
allow
Cobra, when you
yourself.
say what did they do for in Cobra? Well,
No, 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 no.
what
When
they
did they
what
infiltrate?
they could have done for in Cobra is the question.
They don't need
That's
to
the
do nothing.
question.
No, I
Why
disagree. They
wouldn't
don't need to. No, no, they no, 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 no. Mm-mm. They don't need to do anything for Cobra. That's our organization. That
so if they
belongs to
then
me,
don't talk about
you.
reparations and stop talking about
No, no,
all
no,
this
no,
stuff?
no, 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 no. But okay. Well,
I'm talking about them.
reparations. No, I get what you're saying. reparations is them owing us, the white man owing them. We owe. He got to pay reparations to a lot of people, so we can't be so wrapped up in who the white man owes. The white man, he might owe them too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, there are
Well,
people of
who
color,
the
but
transvestites? Who the LBGIQOs?
look,
I'm
look,
trying
look,
to
look, 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 look.
who's
What
on
I'm
here.
saying is that let's not get caught up. We don't agree with the LGBTQ, whatever they are, but they're still people of color. So the white man still owes them money. That's not our fight, is what I'm saying. The white man owes us money. He owes them money.
And owes them money for what? For
Reparations,
reparations because
reparations,
they're
yeah,
black.
reparations. Yeah.
Okay, so but that don't have nothing to do with the LGBTQIEIO community. So why would they mix
Well, well,
whatever
well.
because they're supposed to be fighting for
When it
gay
comes to
rights
money,
and gay liberties and for people to
I
not
got
beat
you.
up and harass and bother gay people. That's
You
what the
know what?
whole gay pride and
I'm
gay
not gonna even
parade was
argue
supposed
their
to be
point.
about, right? I'm
Right.
just
You know what? I don't know.
that,
I'm not part of that. So I don't know. I just know that I know, like I said, me and you go way back to all the way back to Mama and Jerry. Okay.
right.
So we got our flag. We got our own flag. We got our own agenda. So Fela, even with the Martin Luther King thing, hey, come back home. You belong here with us, baby. Forget all them people. That's not your fight, is what I'm saying. So if the white man owes them money, then he owes them money. That us hitting them on us money is a whole different fight. Okay, whatever you owe them, because a white man owes a lot of people money, but that ain't got nothing to do
Yeah.
with us. That's all I'm saying, Fela. We go way back. Like I said, we go back to in Cobra. We go back. So what I'm saying is, don't get distracted by Black Lives Matter. Started off with 3 gay females. So those 3 gay
Right.
females are
That
gonna
the
plead
gay movement
their,
from day one.
yeah, they were gay from day one. So that's their people. The transvestite, Hispanic, whatever that's their people. So don't get
Well,
upset because
I don't have nothing to do with that. That's
right.
my
So,
bottom line.
so what I'm saying,
And I didn't. Did I say all lives matter? I meant all Black lives. I think I did say all lives
what
matter.
I'm
You said
saying is the
all
fact.
Black lives. That's
What
what
I'm
they've done.
saying.
That's what they've changed it to
What I'm saying.
instead of Black lives, all Black
What
lives with the
I'm
rainbow
saying.
is
What I'm saying.
LGBTQIA thing,
What I'm
and that's
saying as a
fine.
black.
See how they did that on the streets too, right? They went all the way to DC and put the rainbow on the street talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm like, fuck. Like, yo, you cannot act like that's normal. That makes sense. That don't make no damn sense.
What I'm
That's like that,
saying.
why don't we just go with into Cobra and then start a gun club?
We've done that. Huey P. Newton Gun Club. We got the Black Panther Party. You know this,
But
Phil. I'm preaching
but
to the
they ain't
choir.
in Cobra. They ain't right there in Cobra. And in Cobra
No, no,
ain't
no, no.
toting guns and talking about, yeah, we want our reparations. Now we
Because
might be more effective when we did that. I'm just saying, at
I
some
mean,
that goes together more than this stuff that they coming up with. The bottom line. That's all I'm saying. And
Phil,
I'm not gonna accept nothing with the LGBTQIAOs.
you're not supposed to. That's not your
I'm
fight.
saying
You're not.
I'm not locking arms with them, acting
No,
like I
you're not
really
supposed to.
believe that they care
No.
about Black people like that. They don't care about Black people like that, even if
We
they're
know
Black.
that,
They care about gay people. They care
right?
about
But
trans people. They don't care about Black people.
right, they
So
don't. They
why are they
don't.
talking about Black lives? That's
Because
the bottom.
because they happen to be black. That's all. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? They just
But the
happen
ones
to
that
be
ain't
black.
Black don't
But we
give a
can't.
damn.
But we can't get wrapped up in whatever they doing because that's what they doing. You know what I'm saying? You my black nationalist sister. I'm a black nationalist. You my black nationalist sister. Let them fight. They fight. Don't get upset at what they do. Fela, come on now.
I'm not upset with them. I
We
just
got
know
our
that
own flag.
we need to make sure that we know who the distractions and the detractors are,
That's all
and
I've been trying.
stay away from them. I don't even know how we went from relationships and self love and self care to Black Lives Matter and the whole LG all Black Lives Matter crew. Man, like
Right.
I said, it just goes to show we need to make sure again we need to stay on point and don't let these people distract us or be a distraction or let them infiltrate what's going on where we spending more
No, they're
time
not going to be
worrying
distraction.
about
You
yeah.
can pretty much know a person's agenda. I mean, it's straight up. Like I said, we got our own flag, so it's not even it's not even on my. You
Right.
know, like I said, if I see uh anything that's effeminizing that go towards, I mean, I'm trained, my sons are trained, people on this channel we just go the other way. We
Right.
step
Right.
aside and we go the other way. We don't get caught up in the like you told me about some TV show. I
P
have no
Valley.
clue, because if you're not right,
Mhm.
whatever that shit is, it's not going to interest me, because me myself, I like movies about cartels. I like learning about
Right.
cartels right now. That's just me, because being formerly from California, that I can relate to it. I don't know. I mean, I just so I'm not going to be drawn to whatever that P you told me. I'm like, it went right over my head, because I'm not. It just doesn't interest me.
Yeah.
It's
And
certain
it's
things that
and
don't
it and
interest.
it's garbage. And the thing about it is, if you happen to watch it, it's the type of stuff that you'll watch it just to critique it. And that, shock factor,
I'm not going to
that
critique
whole
it.
shock factor stuff. I mean, not
I'm not.
necessarily you, but in general,
No,
it
I
they
get what
got
you're saying,
so
but a
much
real
shock
man,
factor and wow factors, and oh my goodness,
you
but at
know,
the end of the day, we need, you just have to be conscious of what you putting in your system, and what you feeding yourself and feeding
you
your
know,
mind.
Fela, a lot of people missed, or I mean, men like myself. Let me just give you an example, and I want to bring it back to how men and women are different, right?
Mm.
You like R&B music, right?
Yes.
Okay, and why you like R&B music?
It's relaxing, and I like
Right.
the
You like a guy
romantic,
saying, "Ooh, baby, baby, baby,
yeah,
ooh, baby,
romantic,
baby."
Afro-based,
Right.
sweet love songs. Yep.
And because you're a woman, I don't listen to R&B. I can't stand this shit because I'm a man. I don't want to hear somebody, "Ooh, baby, baby, baby." Do you know Barry White? Barry White, when he threw his concerts, he would only have women come into his concerts. A lot of people
I could
forget that.
imagine that.
This was back in the early '80s, late '70s, because R&B somehow, and this is why we end up a lot of gay men. R&B was meant for y'all. It wasn't meant for us. Church gospel was meant for y'all. It wasn't meant for us. This music has very powerful frequency, and it changes, and that's why we got more gay men, because we got more men listening to R&B. You listen to the man, ooh baby, 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 and a man's listening to ooh baby, baby, baby. Of course you like it. You're a woman. You're supposed to listen to a man. Oh yeah, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, you look good, baby, baby. I'm not supposed to be hearing that shit. You are. If a man's saying, "Yeah, baby, you look good to me, baby," I'm not supposed to be hearing that.
Well, what about the
I'm
women
listening.
singing?
What about the women singing?
You don't want to hear that? I
No, I don't
could
want to
do
hear it.
this for hours
That's
and
fair.
hours
No.
and hours, and sing to you for hours and hours and hours. You don't know the song I'm
I
talking
mean, I
about.
mean,
I
you have a beautiful voice.
usually don't like nobody. When I say nobody, I mean nobody. And you like, no, I didn't like that. If I can sing a little better, you might like it.
No, you're singing fine. It's just like
I'm
I said,
joking.
um, and
I'm
that's
just
probably
saying, when a woman
and
sings
that's
R&B, you don't like it. You don't like Anita
and
Baker.
and that's probably why there's so many lesbian women. Just
Oh,
saying.
gee, you don't like Anita Baker?
I like things that feed my masculinity.
Yeah, so a woman singing to you does not feed your masculinity. I think a woman can feed your masculinity. What about
No, no, no. What I'm
what
saying
about
is, it's
like
fine.
what about Beyonce? What about Destiny's Child? Let me cater to you.
That's
No,
for
they're
y'all.
singing
That's for
to
y'all.
the man. Let me cater to you.
Some women will disagree, but that's a whole nother topic, ain't it? No,
Yeah,
I'm just
have you
it's just
seen
not
them
my.
perform that song? They have the men and they have their men in front of them while
A
and
lot
they're
of gay men. A lot of gay men.
not their husbands.
No, no, no.
That's messed
Man,
up.
man. Well, you know what?
I'm not.
You better write this down, because I see we got more topics we need to be talking about.
I ain't mess with you
Yo,
too much.
okay, he just said it. This is the truest statement. Women singers don't cater to masculinity.
What they said? No, I'm saying the song. Let me cater to you, cause baby, this is your day.
Men, y'all see what's going on?
We're doing
It's
your
good for
way.
me, so it should be good for you. No, that's the difference between men and
I'm
women.
saying the lyric to the song is "Let me cater to you. This is your day."
And that's why there's so many women on women.
Anyway, because a
I'm
woman
just
is saying
saying.
you want to
No,
cater to
I'm
her
saying
man.
since Destiny's Child came out, there's been a fluctuation of more lesbian women.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe it? Okay. Don't make me pull up the stats. Don't make me because the
I
goddamn
don't
gay
believe that.
women has rose past the
Oh,
80s. You don't believe
they
that?
all
Okay.
got them a man.
Hey, listen.
Let me cater to you. Ain't nobody bringing home no bacon. Don't bring home no bacon, or you ain't gonna have a home to come to.
Okay. All I'm
I don't even
saying,
want veggie bacon.
what for me, what works for me, the mosh pit feeds my masculinity. It's not,
And see, I wouldn't be at a
it's not
mosh pit.
R&B.
I've been to
You're
raves, and
not
I don't
supposed
like
to.
raves. Huh?
No, you're not supposed to be in the mosh pit. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
going to the mosh
our
pit, and I ain't going to church neither.
no, no, no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
going
But
to
okay,
church. I'm not going to the mosh pit.
you're not supposed to go to the mosh pit. That's our rites of passage as men.
Oh,
You're
okay.
not supposed to go to the mosh pit. The mosh pit. Do you know what they do in mosh pits? They push each other and it's
Throw each
rough.
other around, right?
Yeah, they be wilding, but it's not for
The
women.
adrenaline rush until you get
It's
crushed and in the hospital with broken
and
bones.
that's where the agility comes in. That whole danger thing is
Oh,
it's the
danger,
guy thing.
danger.
I can't even explain it, but no, women don't need to go
Then
there.
once you go bull riding, go horseback riding, go do something.
No, I have my limitations on danger.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's not mosh pit seems more dangerous than
No, it's more control.
horseback
No,
riding.
it's not. You have to. It's hard to explain, but no, if you got the agility and endurance, you can. I've
I
been
want to go
moshing
bull
since
riding. That looks fun. Not the
I
real
don't
bull
know.
though. The
Oh,
actual, the thing.
mechanical bull. I know
Have
what
you
you're
ever
talking
been?
about. No,
Yeah.
I don't. I respect animals. I don't. I
What about
don't.
horseback riding?
No, never been horseback riding.
No,
Just as certain, I give animals they
you ain't
space.
country. You
I
like,
just.
I know I'm from LA, but I'm from the valley. I'm country as hell.
Mhm, mhm.
Country as hell. We
No,
go horseback
I just give
riding. We
animals.
go
I just give
fishing,
wildlife.
horseback
Yeah,
riding. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, anyway, it's been grand. Y'all, we've been talking about self care. I don't know how we got off the subject of self care. We got
Well,
into,
we coming back tomorrow. We coming back tomorrow. So yeah, Fitness Fridays.
yeah. So tomorrow we're going to continue with the fitness. And again, we're going to do the physical fitness. And we'll have a little bit of a routine pre-recorded, and we're going to talk about
Mhm.
proper diet. And he has the other sis, I don't know her name. You could tell the other
Michelle Rollins.
guest
Yeah.
co-host for the show tomorrow. I'm just coming on as a guest tomorrow.
Oh, you bet.
So, yes.
Yeah, and I want more people to participate on that because we do.
Oh, we've been on here
You
for
know,
2 hours.
we've been we way over the mark. So we got Fitness Fridays tomorrow. So be here tomorrow at 6, Fela, and y'all be
Yes.
y'all in the chat. Yeah, give a shout out to the chat. Y'all be here tomorrow. Y'all know we have a set time, 6 o'clock. So you want to close this out, Fela?
Yeah, just again, stay on your self-love, self-care journey. Don't get distracted. And if you fall off, don't be afraid to get back up and get back on track and keep going. So get a support group and a support system that's gonna empower you to be a better person every single day. And remember, the only person that you're competing against is the you that of yesterday. Okay, you want to be a better person every single day, and that's what self-care and self-love is.
All right, Fela. With that being said, we'll see y'all tomorrow at 6, and we out. Thank you, Fela.
All
Peace.
right, peace.